RFTools Dimensions is a mod that allows you to create a near infinite amount of customizable dimensions. Due to the nature of this mod, it can be quite intimidating to learn. This is why I made this tutorial, to teach you and everybody else watching the basics of RFTools Dimensions. Before you can start making dimensions, you'll need some key items. A dimension builder for building and sustaining the dimension, a dimension inscriber for creating the dimension tab, a matter transmitter so you can go to your dimension, a matter receiver so you can get back after going to your dimension, a charged porter so you can teleport out of the dimension back to your matter receiver, a dialing device for dialing the matter transmitter to your dimension, an empty dimension tab, and an energy source. I will also be explaining how to create custom dimlets, and for this you will need a dimlet workbench. First, place down your dimension inscriber and place the empty dimension tab into the bottom left slot. You should see a green OK next to it, signalizing that you did it correctly. Click Store without putting anything else into the other slots, and you should see your empty dimension tab turn into a realized one. Place this realized dimension tab into the dimension builder hooked up to your energy source, and you should see it begin to build. Once it has finished building, it will put all of the energy from the dimension builder into the realized dimension tab, and that is how you will know the dimension has been built. Now, you may be asking, how do I get to this dimension? Before you go to your dimension, it is recommended to wait until the energy stored in the dimension is over 4 million RF. If not, you will experience bad effects when inside the dimension. Another thing you should do before going to your dimension is place your matter receiver next to an energy source. Then, charge your charged porter and shift right-click on your matter receiver with it. After you have done this, when you right-click the charged porter, it will drain some of its energy and teleport you to the matter receiver you shift right-clicked. To actually get to the dimension, place down your matter transmitter connected to your energy source and place the dialing device connected to your energy source as well. Then, right-click the dialing device, select the matter transmitter from the top section of the GUI and the dimension ID of the dimension you created from the bottom section. After you've done this, click Dial. You should see a beam emitting from your matter transmitter. Then, as long as the matter transmitter has enough energy, around 100,000 RF, stand on the matter transmitter and you will be teleported to your dimension. If you explore in your dimension, you might notice these buildings generating. These buildings have a chest inside of them with dimlets and dimlet parts, as well as 3 item frames, each with a dimlet. At this point, you're probably asking, what's a dimlet? Well, I'm here to explain it to you. Dimlets are the key to customizing your dimension. Dimlets, when provided to a dimension during its creation, will change its attributes from making the sky a different color to generating entirely new features. To add dimlets to a dimension, put them in the dimension inscriber before you create the dimension. For example, if I put a huge orbs feature dimlet into the dimension inscriber, followed by a diamond block material dimlet, the dimension generated will have huge orbs made of diamond blocks. Now, finding dimlets in chests isn't the only way of getting them. You can make them yourself using a dimlet workbench using the parts you can find in the dimlet structures. When you open the dimlet workbench, you can put dimlet parts in the storage on the left, search through types of dimlets you can create on the right, and create dimlets with the little panel at the bottom left of the GUI. Dimlets need 6 pieces. 5 of these pieces can be found in chests inside of the dimlet structures. The last piece type you need to make yourself. If you're trying to make a material dimlet, for example, which I have found to be the most common dimlet I've had to make, you can make a material absorber, then place it on top of the block you want it to absorb. Then, keep feeding it that same block, and when it stops absorbing that block, it is ready to be used in the dimlet workbench. Place it in the dimlet workbench with the 5 other pieces you need, and you can craft the dimlet. Keep in mind that any dimensions with the exact same dimlets in them will be linked, meaning a new dimension will not be created. If you want to create a new dimension with the same dimlet as another, you'll need to use a digit dimlet to make the dimension unique. So that's about it for this tutorial. I hope this helped you learn the basics of RFTools Dimensions. If so, consider liking the video and maybe even subscribing. Anyways, I'll see you next time.